Stephen Duffy and Darby McGuigan combining here for the first event, and went to Albury last start to win on New Year's Eve, and prior to that was sixth here at Melton. It was a very good effort too behind I'm Intense. He's been going very well, this horse Darby, and couldn't have asked for a better run. It really suited him, the conditions tonight. Sitting behind the leader, tempo was solid, and he's finished off very strongly.
Yeah, no, Steve and Ryan have got this horse going sensational, and he went sensational tonight. So, you know, I couldn't ask for a better horse to drive.
No, he's been a lovely horse. He's had a lot of racing. He potted around there for a long time. He was very well looked after by Brian for a long period of time, and despite him having 133 starts tonight, he's always been a bit of a family pet, I think, and been pampered all his life, and he's still got plenty of mileage left in his legs.
Yeah, no, I think he's hitting the best time of his life at the moment, so hopefully there's a few more left in him.
In fairness to Diamond Jasper, she's just been a lovely horse, and you've done a great job with her, Maddie, and getting the job here tonight.
Thanks very much, Rob. Yeah, no, it was a very nice result. You know, I come here tonight thinking if I could run in the first three, I would have been extremely pleased. And you know, when you get that barrier that, you know, you get the run behind the leader, it makes a big difference, especially for horses like this one.
Yeah, look, and she's, as I mentioned, probably lacked a little bit in the strength department. Always had high speed, but she had a cushy run today. It was a pretty genuine run race, especially early, 43-1 lead time and 28-7 first quarter. And even though you're off the second row, you're still running that time chasing to hold the back of the leader. So she was entitled, if going to be gassed out at the finish, but she certainly fought on.
Yeah, you know, especially early, they definitely run, and they definitely softened up the leader, and I felt, you know, it might have been going to, you know, play its part to her judgment as well. But, you know, unfortunately through the middle stages, they got a little bit of a breather, and it helped her. And, you know, around the home turn, I was just looking for a way out, and I was hoping I was going to get out early enough. And then when she did, you know, whether she was good enough to still run on the straight. But, you know, credit to the team and so for, you know, such a good job they've done at home. You know, she's no superstar, but she's probably been on the improve and been in nice form lately, and this is a terrific result for the Grech family. I'm sure they'll be really wrapped with this.
She really sprinted on really strong.
Yeah, last week she probably looked a little bit disappointing face value, but she just wouldn't concentrate out in front and sort of half-weighted for the others. So, you know, I spoke to Scott and Allen before the race, and we thought if the right one got to the outside, we'd be happy enough to take a sit, and she just travelled so much better tonight being driven like that. And I think if I released some gears, she could have won by further.
Well done to you, Donna. You're doing a marvellous job with this mare. She's such a talented horse. You know her back to front. You know her little tricks and quirks that she's got about her. But I will say I was watching her closely on the home turn. Probably the best she's got around.
Yes, I had my heart in my mouth the whole way around. I was too scared to touch her up the straight, but Chris was making a lot of noise on my inside, so I didn't have to do anything.
She is that probably her worst part with this horse, just around the turns at times?
No, the straights are pretty. She hangs out in the straights, and yeah, she just changes from time to time. She doesn't go in a very straight line, but I know I've got the reins. But she is happy out where she can just go. She doesn't like sort of being crowded up very much.
She's got a big heart and a good attitude.
Yeah, right there, Rob. You know, she's only little, but as you said, her heart's the size of herself. She doesn't know when to give up. And, you know, I think it's about 12 months ago, Bruce was telling me that she was almost dead with some sort of pneumonia related to dust, and she just fell away to a skeleton, and they said she'd die. But, yeah, she's done an amazing job to get back.
She has, and she's just kept improving. That was a nice race to be winning tonight. There was certainly enough tempo in the race, 45 lead time, which was pretty even. Got a little breather first quarter, and the tempo certainly went into it, but she was strong on the line, and she got the job done.
Yeah, well, she had to get out fast off the arm to hold out Love in a Chevy, and she did that, and then she got, as you said, a good breather, but yeah, she was full of running around the turn and had a good kick.
He got the job done after a great performance at Cranbourne. He's done it again tonight. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, well done to John for turning this horse around in the last 2 runs. He was a little bit disappointing when he first came here, but he's really sharpened up, and when he gets a soft run like that, he's always going to be dangerous.
He is. And the start, I know earlier on in the Victorian Harness Racing Sports Club room, I know a lot of the owners or people in there get some tips, and I think we put together, take a box trifecta and box 4 with those horses, and I wasn't really sure whether he had the gate speed to get into a nice spot, and John reassured me that he used to have gate speed, and he was able to do that tonight.
Yeah, he does. He has a lot of gate speed. He has a lot of natural speed, but over the 2100, don't really like to use him as much, but he's got it if he wants it.
Congratulations, Jason. Clever drive, just let the dust settle. He settled nicely, which was really pleasing to see. Made your move, found the lead, seemed to have gears when you asked him to move, and he took off.
Yeah, thanks, Robbie. He was terrific tonight. It was sort of really good that we could sit him in for a little bit, and they were probably just going a little bit slow, and we just thought we'd make our move and get him rolling, and he did it good. He'd need that blowout, and Ange said give him a good run, and he'll sharpen up after that, and he got out on his own. He was having a little bit of a look with all that goes on here at Melton on the bigger track and all the lights, but yeah, he still had the plugs in, and he'll improve hopefully.
Karen Manning is. She looks after the horse and drives it to victory, and then probably rings up Merv on the way home and says, yep, got the job done and did it well.
Yeah, pretty well. He usually rings me. He waits to have McDonald's and knows that he has to be patient, and then rings me, and yeah, he'll be happy.
So the point is, don't ring you until you've had McDonald's. Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah, get hangry.
What do you normally order when you go to McDonald's?
Oh, look, it's usually a quarter pound of large meal with fresh fries.
Yeah, nice and healthy. Good to see. That's why you're always looking so good, Karen, because all the healthy meals that you're having. Good win, 153.5. Looked pretty much a procession. Found the front, controlled the race, asked her to click away, and she did, and got the job done.
Yeah, very nice horse. Certainly doesn't feel like she's going very quick at all, which is a bit scary, really, because, you know, she sort of, like you said, didn't really get out of second gear there tonight and did it really well. Obviously, the draw helps, and it was just a matter of keeping Wirrallee School out early, I think. And then, yeah, she got it as she liked, but certainly did it really well.
Came across from New Zealand, I think it was last season when we ran in one of the big mares races and finished down the back. Things didn't go well. Had a break, come back. What was the reason for this? Was there a setback or just time off? What was going on there?
Just time off, yeah. Grant drove her for Mark here, yeah, and she was a bit disappointing. It was a nice field, obviously, but she certainly went a bit below par and then just had a really long spell. And, yeah, I was lucky enough to get the call up to train her, and, yeah, she's just been a pleasure since. She's certainly got, she's got a bit of bitch in her at home, but we can handle that.
Great drive, Greg Sugars, and handled her beautifully and got the job done.
Yeah, no, thanks, Rob. I think I've only driven this one once before, I reckon, and I think it ran a really good race here and just narrowly got beaten. So, no, Grant said that the horse was in good order and should run well, and yeah, things fell into place nicely.
Yeah, there was a bit of tempo on early. Worked into the race. You were in a pretty good spot, and when let down, really sprinted hard.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they ran out the gate solid, and the favourite seemed to be over racing and giving David Miles a bit of a hard time. And so I thought then, you know, that's all positive for us, and loved the right spot. And yeah, she was really strong at the finish.
He travelled strongly out in the lead once you found the top, Chris, and he was very strong going to the line.
Yeah, he's been racing in great heart since he came down from Queensland, and yeah, just went on with it tonight. He had to work a bit to find the front, and he was still sort of good up the straight, and they ran a good half.
He certainly did. He looked to be challenged a bit down the back straight, but once that horse got outside him, this horse is strong and race fit, and he really just pulled away.
Yeah, well, he knuckles down, and the horse outside him hadn't raced for a month, so I thought it might be a little bit soft, which it just turned out to be.